Right. Let's see here. Find the right page. Okay. Yeah, okay, it does return null on failure. Okay. I don't... So the thing here is we can just... In that case, we'll just do this. Well, we won't exit, because I didn't include the right library for that. I think it's sdlib. So parents. Hopeful. I think it's... Yeah, it is that. Okay, cool. Yeah, totally. That's totally what I want. Yeah. Totally. I know do file does return an error. So with do file with this, while we do care what it returns, we have to convert what that returns into a string. First thing we need to do. I think it's stack index -1, I think is the error. Well, we're about to find out if I remember correctly or not. If I don't, whoops. Oh. Whoops. Technically, you could... There's technically a better way to do this, just... This is still too loud. Whoops. Oh, bloody hell. I meant to do this. Let's turn that down. It's way too loud. There we go. I haven't actually decided what libraries, if any, we're going to include, but... So this is not really supposed to be public API. Don't put it there. For now, we'll just... That is not what I wanted. This might be a breath of fresh air for some people, since this is quite literally... Is it LuaLib? Is that what it is? Is that what this... Perhaps it is. I don't... Part of it is I haven't used Lua in like 50 years. Hold on. Is there no open libs in this version of Lua? This is Lua 5.1. It's not incidentally, it is Lua 5.1. Like it's not, oh, it's incident. No, it is actually Lua 5.1. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, we're... Okay. Weird. Make sure not... Let me make sure I didn't screw anything up here. Let's see here. Let's see. Did we? It's possible I didn't copy all the libraries. Very possible. It's not that, 'cause it's not public. Interesting. Alright, in that case, we can... Alright, hold on. In that case... What does this return? We'll just extern it, because clearly it doesn't exist. Some void... If this doesn't compile, it's my fault. Guess we'll find out. It's also important we do, so if we don't call Lua L open libs, we won't have access to print or the base library, among other libraries. Basically, won't have access to any of Lua's standard library, since by default Lua does not set that up. If you want that, you have to call this. Otherwise, otherwise you won't have squat. Oh, let's see if it links. It links. I mean, I guess it's not a surprise. I wonder if it's just not in the headers. So that's kind of weird. But you never quite know. If I need to, I can build Lua 5.1 for debug. If I need to, I can. Alright, let's see. Okay, we didn't break anything, at least. Probably should make something for testing this instead of just throwing it in here. Probably should. What? Is there somewhere on the blind? Interesting. I don't know that anyone. Actually, hold on. Let me see something. Yeah, I figured. Hopefully, I have the disk space. Otherwise, it'll be a complete and utter disaster. Well, no, it won't be a disaster. It'll just be I won't have disk space. You know what? Well, it's an extern. It's an extern Microsoft. What, have you never heard of the extern? Yeah, we'll just incorporate it here. Oh, that's right. We do... Okay. If we're gonna use Lua, then I need to make... If we're gonna do this, we need... Nope, that is not how you spell it. Do we want that? Maybe? So ultimately, we're going to need an AP. We're obviously going to need to convert... Well, I suppose we could convert a table. So there's really a couple ways we could do this. And it depends on how I want to implement it, because obviously we can create I can create a C func in, C to convert, say, a table into... Well, it's not really convert at that point, because it's more we retrieve the data from this table and basically shove it in here. That's one way we can do it. This is going to be fun to implement. And probably not hell. I don't know. If it is hell, whoops. I don't know if we need new, to be honest. So the only problem with doing it that way, so the issue there is we can't access it directly from Lua. We can, but there's no way to modify the config options through Lua, since we have to create an index and new index. Because by default, I think it's either light user data or user data does not have an index or new well, it's underscore index and underscore new index meditate. Well, it's really I mean, in that case, it's better to think of it more as a property rather than, because it's really a property of the metatable, which, because that's actually how you define these operations in Lua. What you do is you create two tables. One is your library. If you're using user data, you create the user datum, and then you create a table. Set the metatable to the user data. Assuming you've assigned the properties you need for the metatable or want, and from there you can set. I think it's name, because there's name, index, new index, add, multiply. I think there's division, subtraction. There might I don't know if concatenation exists in Lua. I don't remember if that's a part of the metatables in this version of Lua. Mostly because I haven't started. It's been a while. Okay, it's been a hot minute since I've used Lua. I think I'm just gonna do this because I don't think anyone's gonna join this. To be fair, to be honest, I don't know why I joined. Like, I understand people have things they need to do. Ultimately, I can't really expect anyone to be here. Good grief. Oh, we're going 12 minutes. And no, I can't sing any of this because I guarantee it's copyrighted. Because of course it is. Okay, oh. Wait a minute. Yeah, let's just do this. If we do, we have to define it in the source file. I mean the header, because if you don't, you can't make a Lua library. No. So if you don't, you can't. So if you don't put it in the header here, it becomes useless. Although that's not a Lua thing, that's just good old-fashioned C. Go back to my damn header. Well, I guess we'll see. Move OBS over there so I can see it. That is not the right... okay. I think it's... spelled it wrong. It's a registry. Guess we'll see how much hell listens to me. Then we gotta terminate with null. Then I think it's just Lua register, isn't it? That is not the right library. Huh? What did I break? Oh, we didn't break anything. It's just my dumbass put this in the wrong place. Oh boy. I'd completely forgot about that. Some point we need to add include guards or we're gonna have a bad time. Oh, compiles! It's a start, I guess. That's not where I want to put it. I really should make an actual and a app in it or something. I know SDL3 has callbacks for that, but I think it's just config in it, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Alright, before we compile this, I need to make a config.lua. We'll just make an empty file. Okay, it's just config.lua. Cool. Would have been better off. There it is. Real and exploit view. Well, I guess we can see if my error handling works. We'll just just give it a little lovely syntax error. We'll see if it blows up. If it blows up, it's doing what it's designed to. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Well, that's not the right project. Congratulations, jackass. That's not the right project. Okay, it dies like it's supposed to. Cool. Oh, it's gonna be annoying is syncing these, but that's a problem for me to deal with later. Because if we don't clear this, it's going to die immediately. Works! It will consume ever so slightly more memory. Because now we have to allocate Lua, but we have Lua. Okay. Little more. This is gonna be very fun. Let's go back to app config here. Nice thing is, play with me. Something. This is where we can actually. Hopefully, the string's not too long. We really need to make these a global. well, it's semicolons. I don't remember if that's necessary. I think the actual spread. Oh, the actual spread's 16. It's basically how much to upscale it by. It's just in width and height because it's easier. See, it's easier to do that than it would be to. I think it's set to something like that. We will have to. Oh yeah, I will. We probably will rebuild Lua because I need to. I forgot about that. If you tried. Yeah. For now, this is all we're going to include. I haven't yet figured out fully how I want to do this. Nice thing is, being that this is a Lua script, we can use print, and I can see what this looks. Is this a global? Guess we'll find out. It might also blow up because I didn't make it a table. If so, whoops. If so, that is a whoopsie. Yes, that is a whoopsie. I didn't make it a global. So that's on me. We'll just code. That's because we didn't create a table. Whoops. Oh, hey, it's a table. Hooray, we have a table. Hooray, a table. 15. Go. So the only complication here what I'll probably do is make a look her. I mean, technically, the way this is designed, if there's any problem, it'll terminate. So, if I have to, we can add P calls and things, but actually, we're gonna do. I think it's what is it? A Lua new. I think it's just new use date, isn't it? App config. Technically, config path is irrelevant, but we'll just set it doesn't. Texture path. I mean, it's really more important that it. So it'll be argument 1. Nice thing in Lua is because everything starts from 1. Okay, so this. Nothing fancy here. like, I don't know if this is overkill. We'll start the width. Check. Is it check and check number? That's what it is. 2. There's probably a better way to do this, but whatever. Let me pull that over there. And do width. Nope. Not there. There it is. So also we see if I did it correctly. It's been a while since I've done something like this. If it doesn't work, it's probably my fault. Probably. No, we'll do it in order of how we declared it, so technically we actually care about the start position first, but it really doesn't matter what order. All this determines is what order you pass it in when we initialize the config. That's all that does. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters, but it's one of those things of, like, yes, it does matter, but also it doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, these are all, set to what they need to be. Damn, there's a lot of... Yeah, I know I could just use null, but we don't do that here. Alright, we don't touch any of that crap. So this is... Wait, what is opt? Oh! That's actually really useful. YouTube music? Oh. Look at the video. Number argument, so 0. I will need to recompile this because that's a double. Really shouldn't matter, but I don't want to, I don't know how I feel about casting to, so there are exactly 8 arguments. Let's see if it works. We're gonna compile it first. Alright, let's see if it blows up or anything. Where's VS Code? There it is. So it should just be, what I call it? Oh, app config. App config. I think it's just create config, isn't it? Yes, it is. There's probably a better way to do this than the way I'm doing it. Because we know what properties are in the table. So we could probably just get the table. It might be better. Maybe that's the better approach. If that works better, if that's cleaner, we'll do it. Because I don't know that this is better. Because there's really no benefit to this. Player window height, and then the speed. So that's player fall modifier. See what happens. Huh? Doesn't work because I changed the name. Done change the name. Doesn't work because some jackass changed the name. Huh? Argument 7. Oh. Right. Okay, so we do have... Okay, so those have to be set. Oh, no, that's right. No, yep. Because this returns a... Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Oh, I think I did this. Yeah, I did this wrong. Well, what I could also do... If this doesn't work, I have another way. Okay, it's me being a professional dumbass. Cool. We'll just allocate it here then. I don't know. It just seems like a waste, though. I don't know. I mean, technically, it doesn't matter. This is such a weird way to do it. Yeah, no, there's no real message. I mean, that kit fixes it. I mean, technically, we don't need... The only problem is Lua will now no longer take care of it for us. So, I also don't know it's necessary to return, this. Hold on. This doesn't make any damn sense. Because technically we don't need... We don't necessarily, I don't need... Because I don't know if we're going to need the, because the problem with returning this, we can't do anything with it. Because there's no meta tables. Yeah, I think we're just going to return nothing. We're just going to return nothing. I think that might be better. Return nothing. It works, I guess. When does our player get initialized? Is it after? Okay. Okay, this happens before. Cool. Can we just... Can I just... Can we just do this? We do need to include app config, though. This is also where app config is mostly going to be used. Yes, not yes. So a lot of this is from... Texture path. Do I want to make that a pointer to a rectangle? Because it's these that we need to change. So it's important with, I believe this is the actual rectangle you change. This is the... Wait, no, it's not. It's this one up here we change. Bulletia. This is what happens when you don't label things correctly. Okay, I'm tempted. Let's make these pointers. I'll make it easier. Only caveat now is we have to allocate these, but... Oh well, that's my problem. So technically, we don't actually need to. Because the thing is, I could just leave those alone and change the X, Y, and I guess we'll if it breaks, we'll do that instead. I guess. Wonder if we should. Wonder if that'd be easier. That's what it's hard to tell. Like that's okay. It's real. Never mind. Never mind. I don't want to change all that. Forget it. We'll just do it here. We'll start with this one. Actually, no. We'll start with the... Technically, we should start with the idle rectangle. I think it's main config. Let's start with the position, actually. So, no, yeah, width. It's like, no, let's start with this. Start that. No, let's start with this first. Player width. Now, it's important to remember that is the... So that's the texture width and height, rather than the actual size of the player. That's the width and height of the texture. That's what that is. It has nothing to do with... The render width and height is essentially the width and height to render it at. I think it's player rect dot x equals main config start player start x. I mean, if it breaks, right? If this breaks, it's my fault. That's all I can say. If it breaks, it's 100% my fault. Okay, this is the render width and the render width. This render height, if I could spell. Height. Alright, let's see if it breaks. Here goes nothing. Yeah, it works reasonably well, actually. I think we fucked up the, did I screw up or did I sign these wrong? Oh, no, okay. But now we can, like, now I can change this. And the width and height changes. No, we just have to change this now. So it's this. Technically, we really should add... I should add a config option for the player's movement speed, too, while we're at it. So it's not, like, you know, super... But we can do that later. It works! Even if it's fucking convoluted for no reason. The real problem... This doesn't make any sense. Other than, I guess it lets me pass in whatever values I want, but it's not necessary. Alright. I happen to know it's this right here. It's also important to remember this needs to be separate from movement speed. let me here. Let's recompile Lua because I need to enable. So I need to tell Lua to use float instead of double. I mean, technically it doesn't matter, but I would rather build it with floats instead. Where do we set? No, it's not. Probably should add use long long. Because we're 64-bit, so let's do that. Oh wait. Oh, it's yeah, we can leave it 32-bit. Never mind. I mean, we can use long longs. It's just on this for this doesn't make sense. What do you set? What do you set? Wait, you don't. Oh. Okay, where's this defined? Oh. Does this work? I don't. I guess let's see if this breaks. If it does, I can fix it. Okay, hold on. Conversion from double. Well, let's hope it doesn't blow up. Hope it doesn't break. This is really not the ideal. Is there a better? I forget. Is there a better way to change the double to a float? I don't remember. Was that not possible in Lua 5.1? I don't quite remember. Because it's been way too long. Well, if it breaks, it's definitely my fault. If it breaks, it's definitely most definitely my fault. Let's see. Cool, we broke everything. Alright, let's hold on. I thought there was a way to use floats. I thought there was. Is there not? I mean, like, yes, I understand that, but is there not a way to change this? I mean, okay, we should be fine with the double then. We'll just stick with doubles. Since clearly we broke everything. We'll just do that. Convert it doubles. Convert it back to doubles. Go back to where's Lua config. Recompile. We build everything, because clearly changing it breaks absolutely everything. Just everything blows up. Although a lot of that's probably because the value gets returned. It's just now invalid. Yeah, we're not gonna mess with that. We're just gonna deal with the problem. We're just gonna deal with it. Well, that's what we're gonna do. It can't be that bad. I'm sorry, but these problems can't be that bad. Objectively speaking. Can't be that bad, right? So clearly it needs to be double or everything breaks. Cool. Oh, there it goes. It still works. So now we can change that. Oh, we can't do... Oh, no, we could. The other thing I want to do... We're going to put it in here. If we go mean CFG... Damn it, where's damn app config? So the real problem with the way I implemented this... We have to set each one of these manually. And we have to anyway, but the big problem is having to pass everything in. I guess for now we'll roll it and deal with the agony. Also, this should be renamed because this is actually for falling speed. Sure, let's do that. Player. Also, this is the... There's a reason we can't call this a multiplier. Because the problem is... If I call that a multiplier, it's incorrect. Because... This is not multiplication. There is no multiplication happening. Whatsoever. Okay. We'll make this also optional. Lua L. Nope, let's not type it. Oopsie. Lua opt number, if I can spell. 9. I think it's 0.05. It shouldn't cause a big... It shouldn't be a big deal that we're converting from float to double, but... If someone has a problem with it, they have a problem with it. It's important to remember, if we run it like this, it probably won't work. Oh, it does. Cool. So, technically, with the way this is designed... If we go here and we change, we just remove this on the end. Basically, we can completely remove this fall modifier here and nothing catastrophic should happen. I say should, because obviously I don't guarantee anything doesn't break. It's only the window width and height we care about. Okay, we do need, Oh! Yeah, no, that has to be there. Because apparently I didn't make that optional. Let's go, jackass. Let's try that. So now we can remove this. So if you don't set any of the... If these are not set... See? The unfortunate problem is you have to set each... I don't know if this is the best way I could have done it, because you could also just use the bloody table that's right there. I don't know if this was better. It just... Because it's more cumbersome, but if I have to, I can create a function. Like, genuinely, if I have to. So I guess the other thing to test would be... If we go in here, can we change this to... right now this does not support animations because there's no animations in the actual thing here. We do need to change that. That is 64 by 64 pixels. Oh, hey, it works fine. Now if we want to render it at half resolution, change those. I really need to... Let me see if I can... Fortunately, to show it, I'd have to change screens. I'm not doing that right now. Damn, that's almost a 50-minute recording. Bloody hell. Damn. Okay, because the next thing is to... Okay, how do we... It's STL... Bring me the STL3 documentation. We do need this because I need... I think we can set... I think in STL3 we can tell it what monitor. I think it's under here. What is this? What is this? Okay, no. Okay, nope, that is not what I want. Flash window. I think there's just a setter for this. Hold on. Can you not change the display? Or do I have to change the actual position of the window? Sync window, sync window, what? That's not what I need. Is there not a way to move the window? Let's see. Am I just blind, or is it not? Alright, maybe there's something we can do in create window. Can we not? Do I have to use? Oh, that's kind of rubbish. Can you not change the... Can you not change... Do I have to use the primary then? Hold on. Does create window let me choose then? Nope. Well, that's actually rubbish. So you can't... There's a way to do this. I don't want to use System 3. I don't want to use Win32 for this. If I have to use Win32... Oh, that just seems rubbish. Or what let's see, what is this? Nope, that's not quite what I want, because that's for... Okay, it just shows the window. Okay, are there any hints? Let me see, are there... Because there might be a hint. Let me see. Where's it? There it is. Okay, is there a hint? Because I think, is there a hint I can use? I don't remember. If I can't figure it out, oh well. There should be something, right? Let's display priority. What's this? I don't know if that's necessarily what I want. Since damn. So really, is there not? Is there really? This is actually interesting. That's something I toy around with. Wait, so you can't? Can you not? 'Cause I think I still GPU. That's something else. I don't, cause I don't really see. Might be something to look at later. In that case, I'll come back to implementing that then. Because I don't see... In that case, I might have to use 132. Alright.